All right, so today we're going to do something a little different, something like an intellectual autopsy. We've got this really fragmented, dark, and honestly pretty challenging text, and our job is to dig through it, piece together the clues, and try to reconstruct the worldview of the mind that created it.
Whoa! Okay, so right out of the gate, we are just dropped right into the deep end, aren't we? There's no gentle introduction here, just this direct, grim confrontation. This really sets the tone for everything we're about to get into. Our starting point? Hell, made real.
So let's open up the case file. Our first pieces of evidence are the voices, the characters that live inside this universe. You can think of this as all the initial evidence just laid out on a table. Each voice is a different portrait of despair, and by looking at them together, we can start to build a profile of their creator.
Our first voice is just pure nihilism, but check out the specific language here. Demiurge's world. Now that's not just random, that's a direct nod to ancient Gnosticism, this idea that our world is basically a prison built by some flawed lesser god. So the despair here isn't just that the world is bad, it's the idea that it was designed to be this hopeless from the very start.
Next up, we meet this character, Lord Hell. And this is a whole different flavor of bleak. This is cynical, manipulative power. This voice doesn't see the world as a tragedy. Nah, it's just a game. A game you control with money and pure malice. It suggests a world that's run by the absolute worst parts of human nature.
And to round out our charming little gallery here, we have this voice of just brutal ego. For this character, strength isn't just about being powerful. It's defined, very specifically, by preying on the weak. It's a philosophy where the strong do whatever they want, and the weak, well, they just have to suffer.
So, after that barrage of cruelty and nihilism and predatory ego, you have to ask the question, right? This is the central mystery we're trying to solve here. What kind of mind dreams up a world this relentlessly, punishingly bleak, and then spells it out in such detail?
So, just as we're about to get totally lost in his gallery of monsters, a new voice shows up in our file, and it is completely different. It's not another monster, it's not a victim, it's an analyst, a researcher who's just trying to make sense of all the chaos. And this is our first major break in the case.
And this, right here, just illustrates the central conflict perfectly. On one side, you've got the monster, just raw, unthinking brutality. On the other side, you have this hesitant, clinical, analytical mind trying to form a hypothesis about why it all happens. This contrast, this tension, this is our single most important clue.
So here's the crucial takeaway. The author isn't just one of the monsters. They've actually inserted a persona, a character, into their own dark world, an investigator, a research scientist. This means we're not just watching the horror unfold, we're actually tracking the intellectual journey of someone trying to explain it.
Following this researcher leads us straight to the philosophical core of this entire worldview. It's basically a theory of everything, and it's built on two central concepts: chaos and the void.
First up, chaos. Now, it's really important to understand that in this system, chaos isn't evil. It's not malicious. It's more like a blind, random force of nature. It's the engine that creates everything, all the energy, all the complexity, all of life. But it does it with zero purpose or intention. It's the source of everything, and that includes all our suffering.
And the counterpart to chaos is the void. You can think of it as the silent, empty stage of the universe. It's that primordial nothingness. It's the default state that everything came from, and it's the ultimate state that everything will return to. It's the beginning, and it's the end.
And here's where the author really connects the dots, creating this sort of cosmic engine. It's a chain reaction. The void gives birth to chaos. Chaos then accidentally spits out life. That life then accidentally develops consciousness. It's this very bleak mechanical process that gets to the heart of philosophical absurdism. You know, the rational mind searching for meaning in a universe that's totally silent and irrational.
So, now we can put it all together. We take the monstrous world we saw at the beginning, we combine it with the researcher's cosmic theory, and what we get is the author's final, chilling verdict on existence itself. This is what the text calls the cruel molecule thesis. So in this worldview, consciousness isn't some beautiful gift. Oh no, it's a vile, shadowy creature. I mean, this is pure existential dread. The problem isn't just that the universe is meaningless. The real problem is that we're cursed with a mind that is aware of the meaninglessness, and that makes consciousness itself the ultimate cosmic cruelty.
And the author lays this out step by step, almost like a formula. First, the universe is always trending towards decay. That's just physics, entropy. Second, as that decay increases, our ability to perceive anything positive just fades away. Third, the mind itself becomes what the text calls a sickness of the brain, an engine designed specifically to experience this decay. Which leads to the final step: consciousness becomes the tool through which an otherwise dead, inanimate universe gets to experience its own hell.
But just when you think the investigation is over, you realize it's not. There isn't a neat conclusion because the author doesn't give us one. Instead, the researcher, the author's stand-in, just turns everything back into a question, leaving the entire case file wide open. So even after building this whole deterministic theory, the author is still haunted by the most basic question: why? If everything is just physics, just a machine winding down, why this extra layer of dreary dreadfulness? Why is there subjective experience at all? It's the one question the theory can describe, but it can't really answer.
And that question leads to an even deeper one about perception itself. Is our suffering real, or is it just an illusion our brains create? I mean, if our whole experience of the world is just an internal map, then what's the actual territory like? And here's the really scary part. Does the distinction even matter if the pain feels real to us?
And this is the final, pretty provocative thought the author leaves us with. It's a chilling end to our whole autopsy. In this dark universe, getting clarity, finding knowledge, seeking the light, it doesn't bring you peace. It doesn't bring salvation. It just illuminates the bars of your cosmic cage even more clearly.